Hello, I am Mick Thornton with Project Evers, and I am here today with Jean Clifford. Jean is the District 5 representative on the Kansas State Board of Education. How are you this morning?
I'm doing fine, and I appreciate being able to talk with you and to be able to talk with the educators in my district and those who are listening. So I really appreciate that opportunity.
Well, it is our privilege to help you do that, Jean. If you had a message to share with the educators in your district, what would you say today?
What I'd really like to tell people is to please take care of yourselves. That's, I think, job one out of all of this is to make sure that you are okay, that your family is okay, that your friends and relatives are okay, because you're not going to be able to do as much for your students if you are stressed or are anxious or have concerns about your own personal situation. I think we need to do a lot of self-care at this point so that we have that ability to give to others. Our students are going to need us a lot, and in different ways maybe than they did when they were actually in school, and other people could share that contact. We may not have that opportunity as much now, but we need to make sure that we're okay so that we can do our best for other people and for our students.
What are some unique stresses that you feel like educators are experiencing right now?
Well, some of the things that I've thought about, and I'm sure that educators could probably give me a whole laundry list of things that they were really not too concerned about a month ago, maybe. But I think, especially on a secondary level and possibly in the elementary, we have educators who are now responsible for many different kinds of preparations for students that they might not have had before. We're dealing with all sorts of technology issues that some of us were familiar with that, some of us were not. And so overlaying that with the actual curriculum, the material that we're trying to engage our students in the continuous learning creates a lot of additional stress. And that's only the part where it's our teaching job. We also have our family job and are trying to help in our communities, help our neighbors, maybe help relatives who are not even close by. So I think we've asked a lot of our teachers. It is a big ask, and I think our teachers are able to do that, but I think we need to make sure that we slow down and take care of ourselves first. Maybe lower some expectations, allow ourselves to have a little imperfection in our lives, to do those things that could give us a sense of calm, a sense of peace, and a sense of happiness that we can transfer that to other people and to our students. I know our students, for many of them, their safe space was their school, and they are not, many of them are not going to be in that school. And those that are not going to be in there under the same conditions with so many other children, with so many other teachers, and for the length of day that we might have had in the past. But I think if we can transfer that sense of calm, a sense of we'll get through this, a sense of we're all in this together, that will help them get by, and that will transfer to their families as well. I'd also like to say that teaching doesn't stop when you shut the school door. We're all teachers in a lot of ways, and you know we have programs like Parents as Teachers, or different ones where we have people doing teaching who are not necessarily trained as teachers. And I think everybody is pitching in that respect. Parents are doing their best and they have their own concerns as well. So I think just giving everybody what the continuous learning team said, the grace to try to get through this the best we can. And so I want to give our teachers that idea. The department is there. It's trying to create the flexibility and the ability to provide learning for students, to make sure that their social emotional health is met, because that's got to be met first before any of this can be accomplished. We can catch up on the learning later, but we don't want to scar people or have them carry this trauma any more than absolutely necessary. We want that. I saw something on social media where 20 years from now, a parent was asking, what do you remember about this time? And the story was, well, I just remember being together, and we went outside and did walks and things like that, and we cooked dinner together. And that's really what I hope for our students, is that they might not necessarily remember the details of this, but I want them to remember there was a time of closeness and of togetherness. I especially think this secondary level, we have students who are more aware of the issues involved in the illness of this pandemic. And those students may have more difficulty, and I hope that we're able to keep in contact with them. Especially those seniors who this senior year is an entirely different year than they may have planned. And while it may be disappointing right now, I think this is this senior year for all of them will be one they will never forget. Most of us remember our high school days, not necessarily exactly what our senior year was like, but I know that they all will. And we can make it special in a lot of other ways. So I appreciate the teachers. I have 2 high schoolers at home, and I received a lot of phone calls yesterday asking about how we were doing and our technology needs, and making plans for the continuous learning starting next week. And I know that they're doing that along with all of their other things that they need to do for themselves and their families.
I think that message is so important, Jean, especially coming from you and your position on the State Board of Education, that you would take this moment today and really encourage educators to take the time to take care of themselves. I think that's so important. Why do you think it is that we work so hard to be superheroes in situations like this?
I think we just want to try to do our best in all things, but we are imperfect people, and we need to acknowledge that, and just when we make a mistake, we need to try to acknowledge it and think about it and try to do better the next time. But we have those opportunities now, and we have an opportunity to really model to our own children and to our students of how do we get through some very tough times, and how do we get through with our sanity intact, and with being helpful to other people. I remember that, I think it's a Mr. Rogers saying of look for the helpers, and we see so many people who are helping, and some that we may have taken for granted in the past, the people who work in our grocery stores, the people who work in our hospitals, and truck drivers and things like that. So we really have an opportunity to rethink a lot of things right now, and to realize the importance of maintaining ourselves in a healthy condition, and getting out, getting exercise, doing those things that make you happy. If you do have any extra time, now is the time to do those hobbies or whatever that we kind of put back in the closet and not engaged in, going to wait till summer or something. But we have an opportunity to do that. It's a beautiful spring in Southwest Kansas right now. And being outdoors seems to be an opportunity that we do still have, even if we're supposed to be remaining quarantined or in our own area. So I think that, we need to take advantage of what we have, be grateful for that, and do our best for the students that we have.
Jean, thank you so much for your time today. I am Mick Thornton with Project Evers, here with Jean Clifford, our District 5 representative on the State Board of Education, and we're here to help.
Thank you.